What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Weekly Scraps. I know we've been gone for a little bit. You're rocking with Jake Fine and, of course, the Unk Master. What up, though? The Funk Master. What up, though? We are back from a crazy, crazy weekend.
The Stash Master.
Nobody knows who I am anymore.
I have a nickname for you, but I don't know if we could say it on the podcast.
Yeah, at least not in the first few minutes.
Yeah, nah.
They'd be like, clipped.
Demonetized right away.
We had a very eventful 2 weeks. Of course, Merab's fight, defending the title. We didn't really get to do much with that because of how busy things were. And then the wedding, which was an absolute movie.
Bro.
And I hate saying this word, epic, because people have played it out and it doesn't deserve the word that the way that they use it doesn't like hold any value anymore to me. But
yeah,
that weekend, the wedding weekend, was legit a movie. It was, to me, that was the definition of when you could say epic. I had people using the word epic when they were texting us, so it was a really good time. Super excited how everything turned out, and Becca had the wedding of her dreams. And I never thought I would be that happy to be partaking in a wedding.
Really?
So I was actually pretty like, this is pretty fire. This is pretty dope right now.
Dude.
You know? I'm kind of like whatever about stuff.
Yeah, you don't get that high or low. Mm-hmm. But I feel like the first time when I came to Vegas with you, we went to the club. We went to Hakkasan and we had a section next to Tyga performing. And that was like, I just turned 21. That was the first time I ever went out. And you like turn to me and you go, this isn't real life, right? Like, most people don't go out and get this experience their first time ever going out. I never went out really before.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's going to be the same exact thing with the wedding. Like that was the first wedding I ever went to. Like as a guest.
Oh, as a guest.
Yeah. Like.
Wait, so that means you've been married?
No, I haven't been to a wedding.
You said that as a guest.
No, I filmed a wedding before.
Okay.
Yeah. But yours was the first one I went to. I wasn't working. And I've only been to one other, which is the one I filmed. And I think that's the same story. It's going to be like, I don't think I'm going to probably get to a nicer wedding than that one.
Yeah.
And it kind of set the standard.
My boy texted me. He goes, Aljo, I feel bad for anyone who throws a wedding after yours. I was like, damn. I was like, it was just funny, man. But that just goes to show like how much time and energy went into it, especially on Rebecca's end. She did such a great job with her, the wedding planner and coordinator Melina, Nicole over at Revere. They did such a good job. We had a good team with the BTA behind the aisle or something like that. They sent us a ton of footage. And then I wanted to keep this a surprise. We had Steve Aoki come out. And I'm thinking, like, do I let people know that Steve Aoki's coming out to perform? And I go, nah. If they leave, that's their loss. If they leave early, that's their loss. Like, I know this wedding's going to be a good time. Just the type of energy Becca and I both bring. We like to party in the sense of, like, when we do party, we have a good time. We like to dance. Shake things up, make sure everyone's smiling, laughing. And I think the guests that were there were all relatively close or similar to our vibe. And I think it just speaks volumes on the type of people that we surround ourselves with. And then when Steve came out, everyone kind of just lost their minds. Like, I had my good friend Andre. He was like, his brother Adrian came up to him and was like, yo, I think I just saw Steve Aoki walk in. It was just like, Steve Aoki. And he was like, oh, word? And then, he gets on the set and everything. And then everyone looks over like, what the fuck is happening? And he played great. He hooked it up. He took care of us. I'll let you guys leave that to your own interpretation of what that means. But super chill dude, super nice guy. I mean, the first time I actually met him, like, personally, was at Omnia when he let us come up behind his DJ booth. Myself, Patty the Batty, Molly, Meatball McCann, the Fighting Nerds, we were all hanging out that night, and it was just a cool moment. And from there, we've kept in touch, So I'm happy he was able to do that for us on our special day. And I don't even have my ring on right now. But I went to the gym, so cut me some slack. But with that said, man, I had such a great time. I'm not one to get like super like high or low on things. I try not to do that because it sucks, right? When you go too high one way or too high the other way, that dopamine. So, but that was one where I was like, dude, this is such a great time. Just the pool parties, the night parties at Live. Carlos, my man, shout out to him over at Palm Tree Beach Club let us bring in the Funk Harbor bottles, comped on the house as a wedding gift. We got them and the manager 2 bottles. I didn't know if I got to sign it. I was pretty lit. But that was like my gift to them for allowing us to do that. Because most places, typically, the rule of thumb is you charge a corkage fee if it's not on the menu. So they hooked it up, man. That was a blessing. Liv, they did their best, but we still had to pay a corkage fee. But we still had a great time. We had a big crew, and then after the wedding party, after Steve Aoki's set, we hung out and went back to Fontainebleau. We had a wrestling match at the hotel. I started to sober up. I had cake all over my face. So get this. I'm up being hoisted on everyone's shoulder, my wife and I, and we're having a good time, and someone passes me a sign. I'm trying to read it as I'm like bouncing up and down, looking at this thing. I'm like, I'm so hammered, I don't even know what this thing says. And then I see Steve, he points, and he's like this, and he has a cake in his hand. And I'm looking at him, and I'm like, I don't get it. What's happening right now? But then I saw the cake after seeing him point, but I'm so like, I don't say belligerent, but I was pretty turnt.
Yeah.
So then I realized when I actually looked over to his hand, and I was just like, I was saying yes, like, yeah, like I'm turning up, like, yeah. And I look over and it's just a cake in his hand, and it comes out. I was like, fuck it. And it is what it is. And I'm like, hey, wedding day, whatever. I'm just so happy I didn't have my tuxedo top on. So that was, it was a crazy, crazy moment.
What's it like to be able to have Steve Aoki come to your wedding? Like to be in that position? Because not everyone can do that.
No.
Like that's like a huge flex, honestly.
What is it like? I would say, I guess the work I've done have paid off in terms of I'm able to rub shoulders with a lot of other successful people in their crafts, right? So I think that's the main takeaway, is that I've done enough in my sport where I know who people are, people know who I am. They know people like Merab, Ally Quinter, Chris Weidman. It's nice to see that people pay us a lot of homage and respect, and just to be able to hang out with guys like that, it's just like, they're probably big fans of us. We're big fans of them. I listen to music, and he watches fights and stuff. He lives in Vegas. I live in Vegas now, even though right now we're here in New York doing a movie. But with that said, I just feel it's a blessing, man. I'm just super grateful that this life I'm living anything close to this, because I thought I was just going to be a gym teacher and just take summers off, travel the world, and maybe do a couple cool things here and there. But this is crazy. I would never think that I would have ever been in this position. Like, not the kid that was growing up. He didn't have no dreams or aspirations like this. So it's cool.
Man. Congrats to you. That was a beautiful wedding.
Thank you.
You guys did a great job. So
it was pretty dope.
Yeah, it was fun to be there for sure.
Yeah.
Like just being there was awesome, and the whole weekend.
Yeah, And I trained with Merab today, and I was telling him, I was like, damn, bro, you left before Steve got there. I was like, I don't know when you left. I was like, did you get to see Steve Aoki? He was like, no, brother, I left, and I heard he came. I was like, oh my God, that would have been so. That would have been fire. Because then we could have all went up there, hung out back behind the booth a little bit, and Merab doesn't drink or anything, but I would have been turned. Becca would have been turned, and it would still have been a good energy, good vibe.
At least he got to, dance on the stage for Chainsmokers the night before.
Yeah.
So he got his own
Took his shirt off
version
and
of it.
everything.
Yeah.
And he wasn't drunk.
I guess speaking of Merab, how do you feel about his performance against what's his name?
Cory Sandhagen.
Cory Sandhagen, yeah.
I thought Merab did a very good job. I will give credit where credit is due. I thought Cory Sandhagen and his team prepared him very, very well. Banks did a great job with him in the wrestling department, getting him to neutralize a lot of the wrestling positions. And when I say that, meaning even if he got taken down, he was able to get back up for most of the takedowns, where he didn't take a lot of damage on the ground, where Merab typically gets you on all fours, and he just starts punching you over and under your armpit. And you just see guys' head just look like a pet's head. Bing, bing. And he did a good job of just defending, not taking too much damage. I was surprised of the striking, how effective Merab was with his striking against a high-level striker in Cory Sandhagen. And I think maybe Cory was waiting for that big knee or step-back counter to hit on Merab when he was going to get ready to shoot in, but I don't think Merab gave him any solid openings and kept him guessing. And I think that was the recipe for success, and which allowed him to open up on his striking and almost get a knockout in the second round.
Yeah.
That, man, I was trying to contain myself, but I thought that fight was over. I thought the fight was over. I think Merab accidentally woke him back up because he went face down. He went face down for a second. Had Merab had just let him go, he would have been down where the ref would have probably had to look at it like, I think I got to call this fight.
That would have been nuts.
And a lot of people said the same thing from the other side when he went down. So, by the way, good fight, man. Like I said, credit where due. Cory did a good job. Hand fighting, staying in good, solid position, keeping his base strong. He got leg reaped a couple of times, but for the most part, he landed some decent strikes. I think Merab said he did hurt him in the 5th round towards the end. And he had to play it off, but that comes with experience, not showing it.
He hurt Merab?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, Merab told him that in the back room.
He hit him with a good shot.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that. But like, now the point Merab is at, it's like he's beaten everybody that's like really a contender in the division, either before he got the title or like since he got the title.
Yeah.
It just seems like, what is there, who can do anything? Because even a guy like Cory seemed as well prepared as he possibly could have been, considering like the type of fighter he is. He's a striker. He's slowly developed his wrestling. Obviously, he was well prepared to handle, like he was getting up when we got taken down. But he still had pretty much nothing for Merab. What is next for Merab, I guess?
Man, he wants to fight again in December, which would be 4 title fights in a calendar year, which to me is absolutely crazy. My personal opinion, I think he should rest. I think John Wood agrees. It's just the training camps are tough, 5-round fights. Of course, he's not taking too much damage where he's trading in these firefights. But I think it's almost giving people too much of an opportunity to catch up, if that makes sense. Because you're not getting time to develop more skills in between. Because that's where you really get better. Of course, having the experience and being in the cage more frequently, you tend to have that more, you're a bit more familiar with being in there and you're a lot more comfortable. But you want to be comfortable and know that you have more skills that you're developing. And of course, he showed even more wrinkles to his game with the striking. So people have more to worry about than just the takedowns. He's got knockout power. If you let that man connect on you, he hits hard. He's got that construction builder's grip and fist, man. I'm telling you, he's a tank, man. It's going to be hard for anyone to really beat him. It's not many viable contenders. But I will say, if he does fight again, it's good, especially for me to be there to help him with this camp, because obviously we've talked about it. I'm filming a movie here. I don't know if I'm legally allowed to say the name of it, like publicly, but filming a movie. It's a 1980s movie. I'm playing a old school boxer in the 80s, which is why my beard is gone. I'm wearing this hat to cover up this stupid fro on my head because they cut my hair down. It looks ridiculous. But I'm going to be here most of October, and he's going back to Vegas. He's here today training. He's going to go back to Vegas, I think, tomorrow night. So I would like to be there to help, whether it's Piotr Jan, because I can imitate a good Piotr Jan for him. And that would be, I would feel more comfortable. But of course, I don't have anything to worry about him because he's never not going to train hard. I just want to make sure I can see the looks. And then if there's anything specific that I can add my own 2 cents, of course, he's got John Wood, who's very knowledgeable. They watch tape together and everything. Yeah, I think it would be better if he just waits and let the division play out. Let the division get interesting. I think it would be better for him to give the fans something to get excited about, because right now, the streak that he's on, he's going to be hard to beat. And I just, knock on wood, I just don't want to see someone get him because of fatigue, you know? And that's just speaking honestly. But again, the way he trains, the way he treats his body, I still think even with him going for a 4th title fight in a year, I still think he's going to be I still think that's a difficult man to take advantage of in a situation like that. I mean, he had such a quick turnaround from June to October, and he wants to turn around from October to December.
Why do you think he wants to do that? Like, just to make as much money as possible while he's got the title, or what is it?
I don't know. That's something you have to ask him. I think he just feels like he's in his prime. He knows he's getting older. Maybe, as he says, he wants to have kids around the same time Becca and I do. So he maybe wants to make his money as much as he can now and set up everything for his future. But he's a pretty smart dude. He's got smart people around him. I put him in touch with a really good financial advisor, the guy who's helping me make money while I'm not fighting. So with that said, him working with that guy, I know he's going to take care of him and do the right thing to help him increase his earnings outside so that he doesn't have to work again. Everything after fighting will just be icing on the cake. But if there's something I could say is maybe he just wants to, but he says he wants to fight till he's 50. So I don't know, dude. I don't know. Maybe he just wants to stay active. It keeps him busy, keeps him doing something. He doesn't want to get lazy, I think. He doesn't want to sit around and feel like there's nothing to look forward to. So he beat Sean O'Malley the first time. The very next day, he's out for a run. Like, no one does that.
No.
I don't know anyone who's ever done that.
How many rounds did he do today?
He did a lot. Yeah. And I had to take a couple rounds off.
What are we, a week? Literally a week later.
From the fight, yeah. So that's just the type of personality he is, and that's why I tell people, like, he's a machine for a reason. If you're going to have to kill that guy in order to beat him. He's just not going to quit. Yeah. That's my 2 cents.
Last night, moving on, Charles Oliveira fought Mateus Gamrot. Big fight.
Also short notice.
Short notice.
Gotta give the acknowledgement of that.
Knocked it out of the park. Got the finish in the second round, I think.
I think so, yeah.
He basically steamrolled him in the first round, got him out in the second round. I mean, I saw this conversation taking place. What does that say about what Ilya's been doing? Because all the guys he's beaten on his streak are, like, getting wins right afterward. And two, I mean, what do you do with Charles? Because he keeps getting to the title and then doesn't win, but he's beating the next guy he fights. So it's like,
I would like to see Charles Oliveira and Max Holloway again.
Okay.
This time a healthy Charles. Whatever happened the first time where he hurt his neck and he tore like a muscle or something, like in his throat or around the throat, whatever it was. That was years ago in Saskatoon in Canada.
Okay.
However you say it. I think that would be a fun matchup, and it'll give both these guys an opportunity to be potentially the next guy in line to fight for a title, especially with Ilya being the current champion. I don't like the inactivity. I think as a champion, you should fight at least twice a year, minimum.
Okay.
And I think the only way you only fight once in a calendar year is if you fought at an odd time in the year before, or if you have an injury. And that's reasonable. Or if there's no contenders for you to fight, then it makes sense. But if you're just like, no, I'm going to do the Mayweather thing and only fight on Cinco de Mayo and the other time throughout the year, I think as a young athlete, we're not getting paid like the highest level of boxers who are champs. Mm-hmm. So for you to kind of sit there and not take advantage of your youth years, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. You only get paid really when you fight. So it just makes more sense to go out there and compete so you can try to make as much money as you possibly can.
So Ilya has fought twice in the past calendar year.
The past calendar year?
Yeah.
As in 2024?
No. October 26th was his last fight. That was less than a year ago. And he fought October 26th, less than a year ago, and then he fought Charles on June 28th. So
he fought in October, and then he fought in June.
Was twice in the past year.
He fought, and so we're talking 2024.
Yeah, so he hasn't fought. Yeah, okay.
So he fought in 2024, he fought in June.
I'm saying in the past 12 months, in the past year, he's fought twice.
Calendar year or past 12 months? You're saying both.
I thought that meant the same thing.
No, it's different.
Okay, all right, in the past 12 months.
The past 12 months, okay.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You fight at a weird time in the year, so it really depends. So like if you fight in January and then you don't fight again until October or November, then it's going to be like, where's this guy? Why isn't he competing? But it's like, dude, I fought twice already and I'm the champ. Let me get some time to chill.
Nah, I feel that.
Not everyone wants to go through a 5-round training camp and do 3 title fights in a year. It's a lot of training compared to a 15-minute fight. It's just it's not the same.
How do you think a Charles versus Holloway fight would go?
I don't know. When they fought, I had so many questions. And of course, Max was on fire at the time, on his way to becoming one of the greatest featherweights of all time. And then within like 30 seconds of that fight, he got injured. So we didn't really get to see much of that fight, 30 seconds or a minute. Charles ran and did something, and then he hit the cage. He turned, went down. Max punched him, and he just took a knee and was just kind of like, "I'm good," So I'm curious to see how that fight would go today. When Do Bronx is on, he just looks like a world beater. The way he puts together his combinations, and that's why I'm so curious to wonder, like, what was his mindset in the fight with Topuria? Because it looked like he had a good game plan in the beginning, and then he kind of abandoned it and just started trading with a guy who can literally put anyone's lights out, probably all the way to heavyweight.
Do you think it's like a mental thing? Like some guys, it seems like if he's confident, he just like steamrolls right at them, and then some guys he doesn't do that with.
Yeah, I think when you have the aura of Islam Makhachev and the aura of Ilia Topuria, you're probably looking and going into that fight thinking, you're probably nervous. You're probably more nervous than you normally are. And you're probably thinking and believing in all the hype of your opponent versus forgetting and acknowledging how good you are at what you do. And I think that fight with both Makhachev and Topuria, you kind of saw him, I don't want to say quit. I'm not going to say quit. But it almost looked like a shell of himself. And then he comes back and he bounces back in the next fight and you go, well, where was this guy in the last fight?
Right.
And that's my most frustrating thing about Oliveira.
Because yesterday he's fucking like, I don't think he cared at all if he got hit. Like he just was going straight at the guy for the whole fight.
But even though he was going straight at him, it wasn't reckless,
Well, he was like trading. It looked like he did get hit a few times, but like it wasn't like.
But it's also Gamrot. Gamrot's a grappler.
Right.
Yeah, he can punch, just like you can punch, I can punch. What's the difference when you're getting punched by Makhachev, who has a little bit more power on his punches, sits down on it a bit better. Ilia Topuria, who can sit down on his punches a bit better, who's going to be planted and rooted in the earth and looking to really put your lights out. What do you hit him with a jab, pulled and step back, and then a 2-3-2, or whatever it was that he caught Charles Oliveira with, and put him out. Like, you don't trade with certain people until you get to a certain point in the fight. And I think that's where he made that critical error in that fight. Not saying he would have won if he didn't make that mistake then. He could have probably made a mistake later on in the fight still. But sometimes you look at the fight, even with Islam, it was just weird. I don't know. I'm just going by what I see in the fight versus them in the other fights. Like, you can always tell when someone's a little bit more confident or sure of themselves just by the way they approach the fight, his demeanor, what he's doing. And he looked like he wasn't going to be deterred in the fight against Gamrot. Gamrot's taking it on short notice. He's not a power puncher. He's a grappler. Okay, he's just mostly a wrestler. Yeah, he's got good submissions, but I'm a submission ace, and I can put this guy in very dangerous positions. And he fought like he knew all those things going in, hence his confidence being through the roof.
So, like, against a guy like Max, based on what you just said, how do you think he approaches that fight? Because, like, I feel like Max does have the knockout ability, for sure, but it's not like Ilia.
No.
And we've seen him go at guys like...
But we don't really know, because Max only fought at 55 one time, twice. Dustin Poirier and...
yeah.
So it could be a thing of, as 55, he's a lot more comfortable because he's faster than most of these guys, that he's willing to sit down on his punches like he did at the end of the fight with Justin Gaethje.
Yeah.
So there's something to that too. And that's why this sport's so fascinating, because you just never know what someone's going to do or what they're thinking or what they could do behind the scenes, because we don't see that training. But all we can look at and speculate is based on what they have done in these fights. And I think on paper, Oliveira is the better grappler.
Yeah.
Body locks, shooting takedowns. Max is decent in the body lock, but he's not looking to shoot for takedowns. In space, I would say Max is a better technician, where he can control the void a bit better than Oliveira, where Oliveira kind of crashes that space a little bit more, stepping in with high knees, looking for those big hooks and those elbows, those long 3-2 punches. And Max is a good volume puncher. So that's a very interesting one. Max used to be very kick heavy, doesn't kick as much anymore. Oliveira, mostly hands these days. I don't know if he was ever really a big kicker, but I think his submission threat, that he's able to jump on a submission anywhere in the fight, is what makes him very dangerous against a Max Holloway. I don't know if that wins him the fight. Maybe he loses position he feels like he gets beat up a little bit from the top position, and maybe he's just like, fuck it, and Max gets the win. Or maybe he catches him and submits him.
I feel like, I know you're not supposed to do MMA math, but like if he could do what he did to Gamrot, if he does get a hold of Max, I feel like Max isn't as sound in the grappling as Gamrot is. So I feel like Charles could do that to Max.
I agree. And that's why I wanted to watch Dubronx versus Fiziev. Because that's a stylistic problem where one guy is a significantly better, cleaner striker on paper in Fiziev. Straight up Muay Thai, nasty, big body shots, big hooks, nasty low kicks, big body kicks, head kicks, spinning wheel kicks. And then you have Dubronx, who's very well-rounded, but his ground game is second to none. You know, so...
It's crazy.
There's a lot of fun matchups to be made right now, especially with the changing of the guard at the top of the helm.
All right, so also last night, Figueiredo got the win, decision, and Merab called him out. Do you think, would you rather see Figgy fight Merab next or Petr Yan? Because, I mean, we already saw what Merab did to Petr Yan. I feel like it would probably look the same. And Figueiredo's like a new face for Merab, but he doesn't really have the record as of late that Yan does.
Figgy's on a 1-fight win streak, right?
Yeah,
he just lost to Sandhagen, and he also lost to Petr Yan.
Yeah, and then
did he lose those back to back?
Yeah. So and then
Song
he hasn't
Yadong?
really beat. I don't think he fought Song Yadong.
No, there is Song Yadong.
Oh yeah. What's his record lately?
So it's a very interesting spot for the bantamweight division. There's not a lot of guys.
No.
At this point, you're gonna have to do what they did with Mighty Mouse and do a whole tough season, and the winner gets a title shot.
Fucking Cejudo.
That was it should have been a no contest, but they gave him the win.
Yeah, I don't really know what you do because like Figueiredo has beat some bantamweights, but none of like the top guys that he fought.
Yeah.
He beat.
He just beat Rob Font. But at the time, I don't know if he was a top guy at the time.
No. Used to be.
I mean, it's Song Yadong and it's Petr Yan.
So he lost to Petr Yan and then the eye poke against Cejudo.
Yeah.
So I feel like Petr Yan's like the most worthy.
He's the most worthy guy right now for sure.
Yeah.
Please, people, don't say Umar. And I'm not a Daggy hater, man. I know the comments going to say, do you do anything to talk down on the Dagestan guys? I'm like, oh my God. It's like a broken record. It never fails. He got elevated to a title shot opportunity. It was a close fight. He came short. He fought one top 5 guy in Cory Sandhagen. Looked good. Nothing like overly impressive, but looked good. Won the fight pretty convincingly, but nothing like that was super standoutish, right? And I think most people would agree with that. But it was a solid win over a credible guy. This is the only top 5 win. Now he's fighting another top guy in Mario Batista, who's on, I believe, a 6-fight win streak. And I think if Mario wins, he has a case. He has a long winning streak. He beat a former Bellator champion, multiple time defending Bellator champion in Patchy Mix. Although Patchy just lost to a debut guy in a split decision, still a close fight, but he was still a former champion, kind of like Pitbull. It's tough. But I think if Umar wins, I think he should fight one more.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, yo, whoever, and even if Merab wasn't the champ, I would still say the same thing.
Yeah.
I like to see guys at least beat 1 or 2 guys, even though he did beat one guy, Cory Sandhagen. He got the title shot already. So now he should have to win at least 2 fights to get back to a title shot opportunity. Otherwise, you have a log jam at the top with the same guys fighting the same guys over and over and over.
That's like how lightweight was a few years ago.
Yeah, and that's how bantamweight was a few years ago. TJ Dillashaw, Uriah Faber, Dominic Cruz, and then finally Cody Garbrandt entered the conversation, and then it got back to TJ Dillashaw all over again.
Yeah.
And then Dominic Cruz. You know what I mean? So it's just like, let's shake things up a little bit. No bias whatsoever. I just would like to see some type of credibility in the building of the fight, in the matchup, something you could get excited about. It's like, yeah, I know these guys are tough already, but I'm not excited for a rematch almost immediately after one win.
No. But, like, I'm not really excited for a rematch with Yan either. So I'm
not either. But as Jan tweeted, He wasn't impressed with Merab. I was like, okay. I mean, you were in there with him.
Yeah, what?
You weren't impressed? I thought that was pretty impressive.
I mean, yeah, it looked a lot like what Merab did to Jan, except better. So I don't know. What does that say about what he did to Jan?
Yeah, I don't know. And Jan fought Cory Sanhagen as well, though it was a couple of years ago.
But even if you look at like the lower end of the rankings,
there's nobody.
It's like Amin Zahabi, Mario Batista's number 8.
If he wins his next fight, would be a good name to throw in the mix.
But who's he fighting next?
But he's missing that marquee win that gets his name known to the masses. And even if they don't get that marquee win, if he at least wins, the UFC can use the UFC PR machine and pump him up.
He's fighting Cheeto next.
And with that win, they could pump him up because that's a big name. It's like whoever wins, it doesn't matter. Like the UFC doesn't lose on either side. They get new blood, a new face. Yeah, I think he's like 35 or 36, but they get a new face.
Yeah.
Faraz's brother. And then on top of it, if Cheeto wins, he's back in the conversation again.
Yeah. So, but like, if Cheeto wins, he's beating the number 9 guy. He's number 7.
But he holds rank.
Yeah, like his name does. Yeah.
If he loses, he drops down a good amount.
Yeah. And then everybody else, Merab's already beaten. At least
it's a tough sport, man.
I know. I mean, he could just lap the division.
He could.
That's like what most of these guys do in his position. They just keep fighting the same guys.
He's on was it 13 or 14? 13
Merab?
fight win streak?
Why the fuck? Hold on. Merab is on a 14 fight win streak. 3 wins by knockout, 2 wins by submission.
Yeah, he's arguably up there with the greatest of all time.
You think Merab's in the GOAT conversation of all MMA?
I would say so. I mean, how can you not? I mean, we talk about GSP. GSP's lost before.
Yeah. All of them, except John Jones has the one loss, but it has the caveat with it. But
yeah, and even the one loss, the reason why some people don't want to consider John Jones is because no one really knows what the actual verdict was of that whole PED thing. And I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if the commission said, okay, this is a pass. We jumped the gun. This should have been a pass. Or if it actually stuck and he just served his suspension. I really don't know. Like, I haven't followed it enough for me to go, well, what was the actual verdict
but
for
it
me to
happened
go,
a few times,
should he be in the conversation or not?
Didn't it happen a few times, though?
I really don't know. And that's the homie. It's just, I'm just being straight up honest. But at the end of the day, his skill set and his resume, what he's been able to do.
Yeah.
I even look at TJ Dillashaw, although I know he was cheating for a very long time before he got caught.
Yeah.
His skill set and what he was able to do on his resume, still very impressive. But if you're going to say you can't count him in the conversation because he legitimately actually got caught, even though he's been cheating for years prior.
It is a weird gray area because there's probably so many guys who got away with cheating. There was an era of the UFC where probably everyone was, it was commonplace to cheat.
Yeah.
I mean, the way those guys looked back then, nobody looks like that anymore.
Very, very different.
Yeah.
Funk Harbor.
But, wait, so make your case for Merab being in the all-time greatest conversation.
14 fight win streak, 3 title defenses. He's beaten 5 champions. He fought someone who fought for an interim title. I just don't. I mean, what else does he have to do? I mean, of course, he's probably not going to get as many title defenses as like a Mighty Mouse or a John Jones because they got the title shots so early where he had to fight, and a lot of those fights were still killer's row, where a lot of those fights could have been title defenses or title fights.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a weird spot, you know?
Yeah, they didn't gift him the title shot early on.
Yeah, for him to, well, whatever. And I know some people are going to say, well, you were the champion at the time.
What?
No, my face.
I mean, I think you're right.
I think
he's inching there.
Yeah, I think he's worth a mention in the conversation.
Who would be in that?
That Mount Rushmore. I think he's in that Mount Rushmore.
Wow.
I would say, if you don't want to say he is the greatest of all time, I think he's in that Mount Rushmore of the top five.
And you would certainly put him as the greatest bantamweight of all time.
Yes.
Okay.
Even though we have a tied title defense, how impressive his has been.
You
The
guys
run
did
he
beat a
was
lot
on
of the same
before that,
guys.
the win streak he's on when he accomplished that, the amount of champions he's beaten. I think I've beaten 4 and he's beaten 5. All very impressive. Like there's no, you can't. And the argument, Dominic Cruz is a legend. He's an OG. But when some people still say they still have Dom, I just don't know what they base that off of.
Okay.
You know? And again, it's not a slight against Dom. It's just when he was in the WC, he did lose to Uriah Faber. And that was at 145. He dropped down to 35 and he went on a tear. Started whooping ass and taking names.
Yeah.
And that was in the WEC.
He had a crazy run.
Crazy run. How many wins was that in the WEC?
He lost to Uriah Faber, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fight win streak in the WC. Then it carried over
To the UFC.
into the UFC. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then he lost to Cody.
Yeah. So it's like, how do you,
Shit.
even if you do count those WC wins,
Bro, that's a crazy streak.
he's still, Merab has surpassed that. And I know
The
injuries
only
have
difference is the
era.
And the era, but also were all his wins in the WC for the title?
Not all of them. I mean, is it showing it right now?
This means it was a title, right?
If there's a little, yes.
Yeah. Okay, so not all of them. So in the WC, he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 title wins, and then in the
Still pretty damn
in the
impressive.
UFC, he beat Demetrius Johnson too.
Yeah.
In the UFC
Who are his title wins?
for
WC.
okay,
The first one for the belt.
Joseph Benavidez.
Was for the belt?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Was it?
Yeah, that would have to have been. I think he
No,
fought
it was
Benavidez.
3 rounds.
Yeah, title fights were 3 rounds back then.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so Joseph Benavidez, Brian Bowles, Joseph Benavidez, Scott Jorgensen, Uriah Faber, and then in the UFC, Demetrius Johnson, Takeya Mizugaki, TJ Dillashaw, Uriah Faber.
But those weren't title fights.
Those were all title fights.
Takeya Mizugaki wasn't a title fight. He had vacated the belt.
It has the thing on it.
No. He had vacated the belt and came back from injury. And he starched him in the first No, you're on the wrong side. You see where it says TJ?
Yeah.
That's a title fight. Takeya Mizugaki.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure I know that one for sure.
Okay.
So Benavidez wasn't a title shot.
Got it,
It was
okay.
Brian Bowles, Joseph Benavidez, Scott Jorgensen, Uriah Faber in a rematch, and then Demetrius Johnson. That was in the UFC, and Uriah Faber was in the UFC. So 2 in the UFC. He beat Dillashaw when coming back, and Uriah Faber again.
I'm about to get cooked for that right now.
Nah, but you were looking at the wrong side, so
Yeah, yeah.
anyone would have made that mistake. I was like, but I remember, like, Takeya Mizugaki was when he came back. Mizugaki's the guy I finished by arm triangle from bottom.
I remember him.
And Dom came back, took him down, blast double off of his feet. He tried to get up. He hits the cage. He pins his arm with his head, and he just starts teeing off on right hands. And the way Dom punches, like he throws these awkward punches, and he was just boom, boom. I'm like, oh my God.
That was in round 1.
Yeah.
Jesus.
When he did that, I was just like, hold up. I got a lot of work to do. I got a lot of work to do.
Wait, but then how? So that was in. It doesn't say the date, but that was UFC 178. How much later did you fight Takeya Mizugaki?
I fought him. I got signed in 20. I fought him in 2015, where I tore my I got a hernia from the squeeze.
Oh, and this was 2014. Okay, so not that much later. Wow,
Yeah.
that's crazy. Like when you were entering.
So I was like trying to gauge myself with the champ, and I was like, well, he just murdered this guy. If I could do anything even close, then it's a good sign. But I didn't do anything like that.
But you submitted him.
I submitted him, but I was always a point fighter. I would kick you to death till I could take you down and then choke you out. But I would never get hit. I would almost never get hit in my fights. And I was always priding myself like I'm the Mayweather of MMA. And that's how I would talk my shit. Like, you can do whatever you want. You're not gonna be able to put your hands on me because I'm just too quick. But
when the fuck? Jesus, yeah.
we all know that has changed as the years have gone by.
I mean, people still really don't hit you that often.
Not often.
But yeah, fuck.
But when they do,
I guess
Dos Equis.
I guess for Merab, it's like, I mean, I considered you the GOAT over Dominic Cruz because I think if you fought Dominic Cruz prime, like him in his prime versus you in your prime, I think you would win.
I just think the skill sets were just very different.
Yeah.
In the eras, you know?
So it's kind of, and like other sports have this conversation too, where it's like, well, do you have an all-time GOAT or do you have the GOAT of an era? And you kind of,
yeah,
like,
I would say Dom's the GOAT of his era. Yeah,
sure.
I would never. There's no dispute of that with
and then,
his era.
are you and Merab in the same era?
I would say so.
Yeah. So then, because you're fighting at the same time, so that's a tough one.
And we're relatively the same
Yeah.
age. I think we're a year apart about.
It's so crazy. It's that you two are the ones who are like in this conversation. Really,
It's absolutely nuts.
and being compared with a legend like Dominic Cruz is crazy. Both of you.
Yeah. But Dom was an OG. He was the man. And I'm like, yo, I don't want people to take this the wrong way. Like, I'm not saying anything about it, but the era was very different in terms of skill set. So it's like to compare it's a little unfair. It's almost like comparing, like we talk about basketball and football. We're just different, dealing with different types of athletes. These guys today, and I believe Dom would agree with this, guys are just way more skilled today than they were back then. But the accolades, you can't dispute the accolades. And I think he did a phenomenal job in the WEC. He came over to the UFC, got plagued with some injuries, came back, won the belt again.
Yeah.
Had 2 title defenses from that. Or one, was it just the one? After he beat TJ Dillashaw by split in Boston. And then he beat Uriah Faber after that in their trilogy fight.
Wait, so he lost? Oh, he abandoned the belt and then came back, fought
Yeah.
Takei Mizugaki, then he beat TJ, then he beat Uriah, lost to Cody.
And then he lost to Cory.
Okay.
You know?
And then
And those guys have been studying him for years, trying Joseph Benavidez, Uriah Faber 3 times, Benavidez twice.
yeah.
And then they
He
finally
knocked
got
off
someone
so
that,
many guys.
yeah. So it's like your whole camp has been surrounded by trying to figure out how to beat this guy.
A couple international fight weeks ago when I still lived in Vegas, I was filming a day in the life for Roman Bravo Young, and him and Dom are like really tight. So I was with Dom like a lot that day, and I was like asking him like, what was it like being on your run and stuff, and that's exactly what he said. He was like, dude, it's so stressful because it's like you versus the world. Everybody is only looking at you.
Yeah.
And he was kind of bigging himself up, which I totally agree with. He was like, so for me, it was like I had to just fend off all these guys all the time, and it was like I think I'm dope for that. Basically, is like kind of what his message was. But yeah, bro, it's fucking insane to think that's what Merab's doing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I also feel like let's not give these guys too many chances, because I always said the more times you step in there, the more you're rolling the dice. It's more risky that you could eventually get caught, where taking a break, giving your body time to reset, not think about fighting, letting everything heal.
But doesn't that give them more time a little bit?
It gives them time in a different way, but it also gives you time to step away and let the division play out, and then you get to watch and kind of pick, okay, I know what we got to do. And now you can start to prepare in the background and give yourself a better opportunity to catch these W's. And that's my argument with Khabib. Khabib was great, but he never, and Dom would agree with this because we've talked about this.
Okay.
Khabib is considered one of the greatest lightweights of all time, but he also has so much infrequencies where you're not competing all the time against the best guys. And when you're not doing that, it's hard for me to go, well, you're definitely by far the best guy if you never took many chances or risk.
Merab's basically had the same title run Khabib had, condensed into a year.
How can anyone dispute
and
that?
Arguably more impressive performances.
No one, I don't think anyone could dispute that.
I mean, I'm saying arguably.
Yeah.
Like very, very similar performances. Merab's doubled Khabib in all-time takedowns in his career.
And the amount of time he's taken to do it.
Yeah, and like.
And Khabib did get injured, so I'm being fair. I know he's had injuries, but like, still.
No, it's.
Tiramisu Gate. The whole, like, the debacle,
yeah,
the
never having a
like,
problem with weight or anything.
It's one guy was able to fight more frequently, even though Merab is an anomaly. Not everyone fights as often as he does. But at the end of the day, that counts.
that should count in his favor. So yeah, I guess if you're making the Mount Rushmore argument for Merab, you could say that, like, well, Khabib's on the Mount Rushmore, and Merab's basically had an almost identical, if not better, title run to Khabib.
Yeah, it's like if I fought 4 title defenses in over 3 years, and one guy did it in 1. Like, there's no way I could dispute the guy who put his body on the line day in and day out in 1 year or even a year and a half.
Yeah.
That guy gets more props because I know what it takes. So I'm talking from a fighter's perspective. I know what's more impressive. I know it's a lot easier to sit on the sideline, recover, take your time, and come back when you're ready versus having to be in there and constantly pushing yourself where you're never really giving yourself a chance and a break to get better and develop skills and then relax your body and recover versus all these guys who are gunning for you. Yeah. And it's a catch-22. It's like, damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Well, also, Merab has improved at a very rapid rate while fighting this much. Like, you've said that a million times. Yeah. But, like, imagine if he did have 6 months.
Actually had time to prepare.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah.
It really is.
He'd be a different person.
Like, even Sandhagen, he fought Figueroa when? Figgy, and then he came back for this fight, and that's the best anti-grappling he's shown. I mean, the Umar fight, he got taken down multiple times, but his defense was to roll. Now he was actually able to stand up and fight hands.
Yeah.
That's a big improvement versus just getting taken down and you have to take the chance of, let me just roll and see what happens. And then you can't really get the fight going because you're just playing roly-poly on the ground.
But also, like, Merab has, like, so many answers now, too.
Yes.
Like, if someone stuffs a takedown, he's, like, chaining attempts together. The little fucking backward roll he was doing.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like I've never seen him do that.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, imagine if he had some time.
It's just different. Skill development takes time. And we always say, even coaches know this, fighters get better in the in-betweens of fights. So the guys who take a fight and they sit on their asses for 2-3 months, and then when they get a fight camp, then they start trying to get in shape and they're trying to learn new skills. Good luck. Because the guys who are doing this day in and day out, those young guys who are coming up who are hungry and want to learn, yeah, we might have experience over them, and I might not be able to train as much as them, but those guys are able to use that time and put in more hours and close the gap that way, you know? So that's my 2 cents on it. And again, this is not a shot at Khabib. This is not a shot at Dom. This is just speaking how I feel as a fighter in my perspective. Dom is still the fucking man. Khabib is still the freaking man, you know? So I just think what Merab has done just is nothing short of impressive. Like, I don't think anyone could take anything from the guy. If we're only going by accolades, I think his run, his streak, all his records he has broken, like, it speaks for itself.
Yeah. It's been crazy to watch, too.
Yeah. And speaking of, on the way out, I got to see Jimmy Butler after Merab's fight and Draymond Green, which was pretty cool. I walked past. They were sitting together, like, on cage side. Okay. I walked past, and I look over. I see them looking up, and I do a double take, like, hold up. I was like, yo, what up, guys? So they show love, which was cool, because they're fight fans too. So
I didn't know that.
It's kind of cool to see that, you know?
That's dope.
And for me, it's cool to connect with, like, brothers of the sport in other sports in general. Because I think with fighting, there's not a lot of African Americans, Caribbean guys that do this sport, especially at a high level. So when I can connect with other people who I can relate to a lot, it's always dope. Like, for me, it's a cool thing. It's like if you saw a Jewish filmmaker, you know, and you see him working with somebody and you saw him at the event. It's like, for you, that's probably cool. Like, oh shit, what's up? We're doing the same shit. For like, sure, that's dope. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
There's a lot of those.
Oh, Jewish filmmakers?
Yeah.
Probably your age, though.
Probably not my age.
Yeah.
But no, that's sick.
Yeah. And so even on this movie set, we were talking about this. Some of the young bucks, and they were talking about the whole Cory and Ayesha thing.
I was gonna ask if you want to talk about that.
So here's my take on this Ayesha Curry, Steph Curry.
Set it up, like what she said.
So I don't know if verbatim. The main thing that I've heard that she was saying was she wanted to be a career woman. She never really wanted kids, and she wanted to be the breadwinner.
She never. She was like, I never thought I was gonna be married with kids. When I met Steph, I thought he was gonna be a gym teacher.
Yeah.
Like I never thought he was. She's like, I never thought he was gonna be this successful.
Yeah. Let me get some phone call because we need some phone call for this. I'm gonna grab the sample bottle. Grab a little Coke. And yeah, that's the same thing for me. I thought I was gonna be a gym teacher, and
that is
lo and behold,
wow, yeah. But like, that's not the first time she's done something like that
in public.
A few years ago, she was also on a podcast saying like she sees all the love and attention that Steph gets from females, and she's like kind of jealous that she doesn't get that same attention from males.
And now, I respect it.
You respect that?
I respect it.
Interesting.
Because she's being honest.
But
she's a human being.
Okay.
If you were married and no woman ever looked your way, you kind of be like, damn, is this just my one wife that's just actually into me? You know,
I do feel like it's a little bit of a double standard because you're you're married to like
him,
the greatest shooter ever in the universe.
You're married to him.
Yeah. Like, there's not a lot of guys higher on the totem pole than Steph Curry in this world that we live in right now.
So I'm gonna play devil's advocate. I don't think she means she wants other athletes to be into her or things like that. I think she just wants to be acknowledged as a female that's attractive and whatnot from just anybody.
But aren't you when the guy who chose you to be his wife is the guy?
Yeah, but you're with them forever, so it's like that's the love of your life. But does it not make you feel good when you walk into a coffee shop and a girl just goes, "Oh, that's a nice haircut"? Like, you know, something subtle as that. It's not like she's hitting on you, but she's just giving you a compliment or something like that. I think people respect Curry so much that they won't even go out of their way to even do something like that for her. And she probably feels, damn, I can't remember the last time I've actually had any type of attention other than from my husband. And so I understand that dynamic. I'm not saying it's right.
Yeah, but how would you feel if Becca said that in public?
So here's my thing. I think the way that she phrased it was the where she kind of fucked up.
Okay.
That's my opinion on it. And I think if she had phrased it like, yo, I dress up nice. It would be nice if I got a compliment here and there, like just to let me know I still got it. Like, that's cool. Like, if Becca says something like that, I'm not gonna be like, damn, I can't believe you for the streets. I'm not gonna say you for the streets. You know what I'm saying? It's very, very different. But the problem that I had is the way that she said the career thing and that she didn't think he was going to be as successful. I feel like she could have phrased that very, very differently and where she wouldn't have gotten so much flack. And we were talking about this and I was telling the guys on the set, the younger kids, and I was like, I think it could have been like, I respect the hell out of my husband and everything he's accomplished. I would have never expected that this is what would have happened with his career. And I'm very fortunate. I'm very blessed. And when I was coming up, I thought that this was the direction that I saw my life and my future. And then Steph came into my life and things took a different turn. I think it could have been phrased so much more poetically than how she did it. And everyone's kind of just throwing daggers at her.
But, okay.
And then telling Steph, leave that woman. I'm like, yo, that's the mother of his kids.
No, I'm not saying leave her.
No, I'm not saying you're saying that. I'm saying people are saying that.
But it's the fact that she didn't phrase it that way. And it's not the first time she's made him look bad in public and spoken in a way that diminishes, not diminishes him, but you should be bigging up your man in public. The only time you should ever, like, in my opinion, like, and he should never say anything bad about her in public. They should only say really good things about each other in public. In my opinion, that's how I would want my relationship to be.
I agree.
So the fact that happened then, and it was a huge controversial thing back then when she said, like, I wish I was getting more male attention. And then she goes on the biggest female podcast in the universe and does it again, but almost worse this time. I do feel like that's a terrible look. Like, I see why she's getting the hate.
No,
especially
I get it.
You have Stephen Curry as your husband, who's all he does is say nice things about you. He's never made you look bad once. He's helped you have he helped her start like a cooking show and like a cooking business, and that none of that's happening without Steph Curry as her husband.
I give an example. Merab is one of those guys, and we're very similar in this way. I try not to be friends with any of my boys' girls or wives because I don't want any type of mixed signals or anything, and that's because of the respect that I have for my guy.
Yeah.
You know? And people might say, "Oh, that's childish." It's not. Guys are a certain way.
Yeah.
And I would never want to put myself in a situation like that. So I would always make sure, like, hey, we're cool, but I don't want it to ever come off like I'm being overly friendly to you, you know? So
like, but that doesn't mean you're not friendly. It just means you're not texting them on the side.
Not texting them on the side.
Being, like, sending them memes and shit. Like, you're not doing that.
I'm not doing anything like that.
But if they're in your home, you'll be nice to them.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But even in public, like, I'm still not giving them, I'm just not doing the most.
Yeah.
I'm not doing the most. And Merab is the very similar way. It's like, someone has a wife that's your friend. You treat her with respect, and you don't put yourself in any position that will, like, compromise your friendship.
Yeah.
You know, so we're very different in that way. Where a lot of these other guys are very, very different. Where they're looking for the clout to try to get a moment where, oh, Steph Curry's girl winked at me or gave me a hug. Like, they just want something stupid to be like, I got one up, or I did this and I'm the man. Like, everyone wants that viral moment for them to validate themselves, which is so weird. But with that said, I just think she's a little bit misunderstood, in my personal opinion. I think she could have phrased things very, very differently. She's not doing pressers after every game like Steph is, knowing how to talk to people and address the media. Has she ever had that type of training? I have no idea. I've only seen what I see on the internet. I hate that it comes up on my feed. I'm like, I don't want to see this. I see enough of this. I don't want to be involved in another man's drama. Here I am talking about it. But I think people could take note in this and kind of learn to better themselves. Like, why are you condemning someone for something that's a very normal, and I don't want to say primitive, but it's a very normal feeling that everyone has. Everyone wants to feel like there's, I don't want to say there's options, but everyone wants to feel good about themselves. And I think that's what she wants. She wants to feel good about herself and not just feel it's just her and a man and that's it in a big empty world, and it's just them two living like I am legend or something like that. And I understand that. People give Rebecca compliments. She took out the trash the other day because I'm here in New York. She's in Vegas. She took out the trash. She had to run down the trash man because they only come once a week. Because we had so much trash from the wedding and the boxes and everything.
Yeah.
And she said it was two young brothers. They stopped. They did help her out. And I was like, yeah, they stopped because you're a fucking girl. And I told her this. And then one of the guys made a remark. He goes, and I said, he's testing the waters. He goes, oh, damn, you had a party and you didn't invite me? And I go, see, that's the shit I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's the shit I'm talking about. But for her, I'm pretty sure that made her feel like that's flattering. You know, it probably makes her feel like, yeah, I still look good. I still feel like if anything were to ever happen, I can still do well for myself. And I think that's kind of what she wants, and not like I'm looking to do a side quest or something with some man. So I get it. And I told Rebecca straight up, I was like, he was testing the waters. And she's like, yeah, that's because your ass wasn't here. You're all the way over there. I was like, yeah, I know. And I feel bad. I'm like, because I was like, the man should be out doing that, not having you out there doing that.
Okay.
So that's just my
example.
perspective.
Yeah.
And I think I'm mature enough to understand what she's saying and not reading so directly in between. Like, I could read in between lines and understand what she's trying to say and not just go, I'm going to take your words at face value and that's it.
Yeah, but Rebecca's telling you that story. She's not going on podcasts that are going to go viral.
But if she did, I wouldn't be mad.
I feel like, but
I really wouldn't.
But it would make you look bad in the eyes of the world. And, like, don't you think that's like where, like, public relationships, I see why they work, they don't work very often. Because, like, that type of scrutiny on your relationship, like, I feel like it could just, like, I wonder what the conversations Ayesha Curry and Steph Curry are having after something like that goes viral. Like how was he saying to her? Because I know what he's saying to the public, he's defending her, but, like, what is it actually like between them? Like I know what I would say and how I'd feel. Yeah, like, never again. And then she did it again.
Yeah, so maybe it wasn't that.
I don't know. It's, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. And that's why it's always best if you leave your relationship off public stuff. That's just my 2 cents.
Yeah, especially the inner workings of like your private life.
Yeah. Yeah, you know. But people also are so fascinated and intrigued to know how relationships at that level work. So people always want to know. So it is cool that she gave that insight that other people are probably like, damn, you have it all and you still feel like that? Like, yeah, bitch, I'm a fucking human. So I get it. But it makes it relatable. Because even someone on the lowest level could still feel like, yeah, I'm with this guy and I don't feel like I'd never get any attention from anything else or anyone else. And again, it's not attention in a bad way. It's just like an acknowledgement that, hi, I'm alive, I'm breathing.
Yeah, but what if he's giving it to her all the time? I just feel like, I don't know, I'm not with you on this one. Like,
I get it, but like, I also get her side as well.
I guess I get it. I just don't think it's a good perspective for her to have. I would hate if my girl felt that way.
If she gets dressed up and she goes to work, you think she's going in there in some scrubs and some sweatpants, no makeup, and just feels like, oh, my man loves me, so it doesn't matter.
Well, no, I don't go outside in like, you don't want to look crazy. You want to look put together in your professional setting.
Of course.
But that doesn't necessarily mean you're looking for attention from the opposite sex.
But it doesn't mean you are or you aren't.
Yeah, but she's saying she is. Like, she wishes she had it.
I don't think she's saying that though. I really don't. I don't think she's saying that.
All right.
I still think what she's trying to say, and I could be completely wrong, but I think what she's trying to say is he's successful, he's always in the limelight, he's the guy that everyone knows. I'm just the wife of Stephen Curry. He gets the acknowledgement. I was very successful before. Now I'm kind of like almost pretty much a stay-at-home mom, and everything I do is for him. It would be nice to have something for myself. And I get that. And the same reason why I tell my wife, I go, if there's anything that you ever have, any passions or whatever it is, or goals, like, I never want to be or make you feel like I'm trying to stop you from doing what you love or want to do or explore because I'm selfish in the fact that I feel like you should just be good. You don't need anything else because I do enough.
Yeah.
And that's my perspective on it.
Okay.
So I get hers. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I just think I'm just saying I understand where she's coming from.
Sure.
I'm not saying what she's saying or anything is correct. I think she could have did it in a much more better fashion, and yeah, that's it. That's my 2 cents on it. And I think she, like you said, I think she kind of embarrassed him a little bit.
Twice.
And that's like the overall consensus.
The whole thing, I think, is
but I don't think it was intentional.
No, I mean, I think if you make the same mistake twice, you can't call it an accident anymore. You can call it, I mean, it's being careless.
Maybe there's fire under the bridge and nobody.
Yeah, maybe.
Fire in the building, no one knows.
Yeah.
And they're trying to get out. She's trying to get out.
Maybe.
Little by little, I don't know.
Just get that half the network.
Yo, people change.
Yeah, bro, definitely.
People change.
Also, yeah, it seemed she never saw this coming. She never saw her life going like this.
Yeah.
Maybe she's not happy.
You go from having ambition to not having anything to look forward to is kind of like, I get it.
The thing is, I think the reason men hate her so much for what she said is a lot of guys feel like no matter
how much they do.
A lot of guys are worried that all the girls in the world are looking to get with a very small amount of guys, which is probably true. And then even the guys who do have pick of the litter, the one they pick isn't grateful. Like, she's complaining still on air about him. She's airing out her dirty laundry about him. And it makes guys feel like even Steph Curry, even Tom Brady, they can't, like, their wives aren't happy at home. So how could I possibly, my 9 to 5, not making a crazy amount of money how am I going to make somebody happy?
Is it relatable? Because what does it come back to?
Well, it's depressing.
It's depressing, but what is it?
I'm not saying any of that's true, but I'm saying, like, I'm not saying, you can never please a woman, but the guys who already fear that reality, and then that happens, it confirms what they believe, and it makes them hate women even more. You know, that's why I think it's such a controversial thing.
If you hate women,
what? What is that?
If you hate women, then you're
Oh yeah.
Try not to get canceled over here.
Gay.
Gay fish.
Right.
But I go back to it's relatable because now you're thinking about it like, well, if he's this guy, he has all of this. What could I possibly do in the position that I'm in for my lady? Does she think the same? Does she listen to this shit and feel something relatable to this, right? That makes you think all those things. And again, it comes back to what I was saying. I think we are all human and we have emotions, we have feelings, we have desires, we have wants, we have passions. It's just, I've just come to learn all these things over the years because, I don't know, I feel like my wife and I, we've been through so much that I just understand. I feel like I understand myself a lot more than when I did when I was a lot younger in the beginning stages of our career and what I wanted. Like you think it's going to be perfect, but then they're dating from high school and it goes all the way till now. What is he, in his mid-30s? And you still have all this life to live. You're going to have bumps in the road. And I think if anything, that should be encouraging to know like, hey, you're not alone. Like people battle, people have fights, people have disagreements. But at the end of the day, do you choose each other at the end? And I think that should be more of the messaging and the way that they should and can spin it. And I think she just needs a better job at doing PR. Because again, I don't know if it's intentional. Maybe it is. Maybe the building's burning and she's trying to get out.
Maybe they're laughing about this shit and she's about to drop some book or something and they're getting all this fucking free media from us. So,
maybe.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
So who knows, man? That's why I like when people get so invested, I'm like, why do y'all even give a fuck?
I think, yeah, like I said earlier, I think people give a fuck because they think their one relationship represents the whole, and it like they worry about that happening to them.
Yeah.
You know?
And
I'd be very interested to like hear Becca's opinion on this or something. Like
I would love to hear her opinion on it.
It'd be like or like other women's, you know, a bunch of like I'd love to get the populace.
Shit, she tells me all the time. She's like, money doesn't fix everything. I was like,
it better.
But it doesn't.
No.
She's right. She's right. It doesn't. Like you need to be present. You need to be doing certain things, and that's even when you're still doing things that are correct. It's just, you know, people are people. We're human. We're primitive, and everybody has goals, desires, and wants. We have one life to live. And it's best if you can be with someone that you actually want to be with. That's my 2 cents, at least.
I think it's
Mic drop.
It's a good place to wrap it up.
So guys, control your lady and make sure she ain't going on no podcast and talking all that crazy shit.
I think half the podcast was about that, not MMA.
That's okay. We'll give them something different to listen
Some
to.
tea, yeah. Cool, man.
Wise words from the Unk Master.
From
I can't wait till this look is over. I'm going to go back to the high top fade, so make sure y'all see that. Wait for that. That's going to be coming in December.
I can't wait for that look to be over. And we're back to I like this, and then we can get past the next one.
I'm going to go back to 2015 Aljo, 2016. Come back, high top fade, a little part in the hair, clean shaven, maybe a little goatee, big gold rope dookie chain again.
The goatee is crazy.
Yeah, throw it back, man. I'm like, yeah, baby. Thought I'd never look like this again. You see me. But, so we got. All right, guys, thank you for tuning in. Stay black, stay safe, stay you.
And drink Funk Harbor.
And drink Funk Harbor.
They found you.
Peace.